Well, my purpose, I think as I said, I feel like I'm living in it, but I wouldn't say that it's been actualized completely because I'm 45. It's a journey. I know it is always going to be making change. I've always been someone who's got a lot of words. I speak a lot. And I actually do have moments of silence, by the way. People don't believe it, but it's true. But it's to use my voice because I am a speaker, but I also am academic, but I also have lived experience. So I know a lot about quite a lot. I'm a mother. I've got so much layers. And I always wonder why God allowed me to navigate so many things, good things, but also bad things, because I can actually relate to so many people. So I can sit in different environments with different people, different cultures, and be, I hate the term ally, but for want of better words, ally or an advocate. And in all the work that I do, I'm able to make change and use my academia to catalyze money and to know how to understand like large amounts of money for communities and how to position different people who may not have certain skills or the resources potentially to access certain things, but that I know how to access. And doing that knowledge exchange or that transfer of knowledge is really important to me. I don't believe I don't lead with academia. I never lead with, oh, I'm an academic, because also I think that as a Black woman, yes, it has opened a lot of doors for me, but I also feel like the academia and the colonialization that's linked to academia is a door closer for a lot of Black people. So I've never really led with that. I'm proud of being an academic, but I feel like my purpose is to be able to help other people who aren't academics, not to actually say, oh God, you should go to uni and get a doctorate, like be like me or do a master's, but actually that may not be their journey, but I can also open doors for them or show them like, oh, this is how you do this, or write it in that way. And I really love doing that as a consultant, like working with organizations that are like maybe beast organizations that have budget, but helping them to see how they can help different communities and communities like ones that I actually came from, because I wasn't born into the situation that I'm in now by any means at all. So yeah.
Oh, that is it's a blessing. And I think my thing is and that's what you just spoke about, is service in another
it's like marketplace ministry,
and
which is a terminology
what did you say again?
Marketplace ministry. But that's what people call it. But I feel like I don't know. I always like pray about this situation because it's not exactly in the Bible. However, when you look through the Bible and you read it in great depth, there was lots of entrepreneurial women and men who were able to use their platforms and their money and their power and their privilege to be able to help other people. And that's what I believe that marketplace ministry is, to be able to make those and be change agents as well. Because actually the reason why we need change agents that have discernment and wisdom and relationship with God is because the system is run by people who definitely are anti, for sure. Otherwise there wouldn't be so much injustice. I just want justice. That's what I care about. And for the passion for me is race equity, children and young people. Like, I can't believe like the amount of disparities that there are for certain children, and not just Black and brown children, but those who are brought up in different areas or they come from a low socioeconomic background. And it's crazy that that there's young people in a first world country, don't get me started, a first world country that's supposed to have money and it's supposed to be so great and all the rest of it. And actually there's poverty, like high extents of poverty. And there are so many people suffering at levels that we've never ever experienced. And that level of inequity really, it bothers me. It bothers me, the level, like the lack of safety for our young children. It bothers me that young people, there's a lot of knife crime, but nobody's seeing that. Yes, knife crime is definitely a public health issue, but only time I've ever seen somebody have to say, oh my God, we can't go here today, we can't go to that location, is in horror films. So like young people having to think about, oh, so-and-so might be down the road or that person hangs around there. And I'm not sensationalizing it, by the way, because I know that knife crime is not everywhere and Black children are not being stabbed on a daily basis. However, the levels that it is enough. And I think that the society is just so desensitized, and I'm hyper aware of like everything that's going on. And I know that comes from Christ, because actually when you work in a certain sector, you can become desensitized because you're reading things all the time and they're really horrible. But also when you're busying yourself about your own life, as I said, like my sister calls it being caught in capitalism gets us caught in a chokehold, because everybody, as you said earlier, wants to get by. Everybody wants money. Everybody wants to get something, wants to achieve something, to be somebody. But when you strip that all back, the levels of inequity like ensure that somebody along the lines that you love is going to be suffering. It might not be your cousin or your, like it might not be your best friend, or it might not be the person that is directly closest to you, but it could be a grandparent, it could be an aunt. And if you're leading in love and kindness, that will bother you in some respects. And it's not always because that person is not putting their best foot forward, or not doing one of these courses that are being sold on Instagram, or not doing content or branding themselves correctly. They may be suffering mental health. They may be have been systemically oppressed. There could be so many different things, trauma, all these things that keep people boxed in or keep them away from what they actually need, the vital things they need, necessities. And those things really bother me. Like, they really affect me, like, in a certain way, spiritually, I think, because it grievance. It causes grievance for me.
And the thing is, I feel like God really, when like trying to help other people find out what their purpose is, I always feel like it's the thing that burdens you, the thing that gets you, the thing that irks you is usually linked to your
why I do what I do,
what you get passionate about. Because but that's, some people are bothered by a lot of things, but they don't do anything about it. And I think, the fact that you're not just bothered by it, but you're actively doing something is, and I thought of it on that level, but also